So as you feel ready to let go of any extraneous movement, fidgeting, movement of the eyes, just draw your focus inward. And feel those 2 points of your sits bones and that base of the pelvis rooting you down into the earth as you rise and lengthen through the center of your body, center of the heart, the palate, and the top of the head. Feel it lift up toward the sky. And at the same time, drop a line down from the universe through your crown, back through the central channel, and into the earth, right underneath the base of your pelvis. Just feel that energy of spring rising with your inhale, blossoming open through the heart center, and that energy of fall, autumn on the exhale. As you settle back into the earth and back into that space of the yin to begin the cycle again. So attune to great nature, the energy of the seasons present within you. We are in spring, and although perhaps we like to be outside in groups, socializing in the sun, enjoying all those fun springtime activities when we all come together, we're all here at home, so we can at least infuse some of that springtime yang energy into our homes, into our practice, even our yin practice. We can tap in and create that nice divine balance. But as I mentioned earlier, first, let's create ourselves a protective cocoon or a shield, a protective aura, however you want to think of it. This will be with your imagination and just staying grounded in your body and with your breath. As you start to spin around yourself, nice long wraps, longitudinally and then latitude-wise. All the way around through all the angles, the polarities, from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. From your sits bones to your shoulders and all around your ribs and your waist. Just spinning. All the way around yourself, like a ball of yarn even. Just to wrap it around your sphere. You can follow a pattern or you can go a bit free form. Up to your mood right now. Just keep wrapping like that caterpillar that's going to transform into a butterfly, but it just needs some protective space to hunker down and shelter in. Take care before it's really ready to spring forth and bust out into that butterfly. So it's almost like we get to just extend the yin, the winter energy of this season this year. Which in some ways has been kind of nice, a little extra sleep, a little extra family time, some simple pleasure time, spring cleaning, extra side projects for our attention. So let's just embrace that gift. Allow ourselves to find expression, whatever little spaces that we can. Just like here on the mat this afternoon, together, doing yin. A little bit of yang sprinkled throughout. So keep wrapping yourself up in that protective fiber. You can even envision it white, glowing, bright. And here you are protected. And you can even say to yourself as a mantra, I am healthy, my immunity is strong, I'm protected, I'm safe, I'm present in this moment where all is good in the body, in the breath. In my yoga practices, body and breath and awareness and tapping into consciousness help support me in staying healthy, vibrant, radiant, so then I can be of best service to others. We need extra support. Just whatever mantra resonates with you in this moment, please repeat it. You can visualize it in your mind's eye, that point between the eyebrows. You've spun this protective web all around yourself. Sacred space for your practice. You can find some space, some healing, some transformation. And just to move energy, hydrate the tissues, calm the nerves. Any other intention you have personal to you, you can hold it here in your heart. So we take another minute or so here to sit and breathe. In gratitude. For this collective space and awareness, we can practice together. Stay grounded together. Stay connected socially together, although with some physical distance. You can feel the connection in your own heart space. So really breathe there. Another few rounds. Breathe into your sphere. From the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. As you inhale that spring rising. And exhale, autumn falling. Release your hands to a comfy place. And as you exhale, round your back body so that you curl into yourself like a cat. And inhale, lift up through your heart and draw your shoulders down your back, opening up across your chest for cow. Mobilize the whole spine. Feel the tilts in the pelvis as you pulse with your breath. through some seated cat and cow. Let's take one more cycle. And then come back to a neutral spine and take a full body breath. Place your right hand down on the side and inhale, send the left arm up and over. Open the heart upwards. And stay plugged down through your right hip as you reach your left arm over. And inhale through center to exhale over to the left. Spinning the right armpit in toward the heart. And inhale up through the center. Exhale. Twist your spine to the right. Sending your hands down. You can make contact with your right thigh and at your sacrum or behind you on the mat. Stay on your central spit from your pelvic floor through your crown and wrap around. Inhale, unwind to reach up. Exhale, twist your spine to the left. Keeping your skull right on top and the chin level with the earth. Plug your right hip back and down. Inhale, reach the arms up, unwind the spine, and then go back to the side body stretch to the right. Inhale up through center to exhale to the left. So we're going to move this in a pulse, a bit more springy and vibrant with energy. Inhale, center, and exhale, twist right. Inhale, center to exhale, twist left. Keep your hips on the clock as you pulse with the breath. Allow it to guide you. You'll be feeling a little bit of dynamic warming at the base of your pelvis, through your core, at your heart center, even up at your third eye as you coordinate your breath, your body and movement. And just even allow yourself to get a bit lost in it. So you're really present. Flowing gracefully on your mat. Opening up into possibility. Even with some uncertainty in play. Just do a couple more full rounds, lateral and twisting from your seats. Inhale, spring rising. Exhale, autumn falling. Keep your heart nice and open. Keep it open to possibility, which really is that energy of spring. which is why we're incorporating some nice flowy yang movement here to start our practice. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down. And take a full body breath. And then come off of your seat, up onto the knees with all 10 toes tucked for toe crunch. You can sit your hips right to your heels, or you can put a block in between your heels and your butt, or even 2 blocks, add in a blanket, add in your bolster. All props are welcome, and it's so nice and fun to get creative in yin and to, again, really make them your own individual expressions. Each posture, that is, each asana is like, your own individual spring blossom. So once you've settled into the sensation in your toes, in your feet, just checking with the length of the spine and the nice curves through your lower back, through your neck, broaden your chest. Keep breathing all the way up into the tops of the lungs, under the collarbones. Even just playing off of the theme from practice yesterday on Saturday and on Thursday, we want to keep breathing from the center of the body into the circumference. If you are a sphere, remember you're in that nice protective web of fiber energy that you spun around yourself in the beginning of class. Feel a full body breath into that. Expansive quality of the inhale and the contracting quality of the exhale. It's your spring to summer, your fall to winter, yang to the yin. Cycle repeats. And you can really follow the sensations upward in your body as well. From your toes to your head. From the back body to the front. From the right to the left. Take another minute or so here in toe crunch. And of course, if you need to come out early and just take care of yourself, you're always welcome to. Be able to, in your practice, differentiate pain from some discomfort. Maybe enduring this discomfort can make us stronger in the long run. But then again, pushing past the edge into pain is never a good plan. So you really drop ego at the door when you come into the room of your practice space. And you commit to really listening to yourself, your deeper needs, the more subtle energies inside of you. Looking to speak to you, to send you messages, even via the universe, or your own higher intuition. And you just stay present with the waves, the breath, the thoughts, the sensations. Sometimes they're intense, sometimes they're dull. Often they're somewhere in the middle. I think that was a minute, probably even a little more. When I'm doing yin, I definitely often feel like I get lost in time. Maybe some of you feel the same way. I don't really know where it goes. It's just like a few deep breaths, and it's 1 minute. Okay, come on out of your toe crunch. And of course, you can untuck your toes from there. And then send yourself back into a seat, and really any seat that's comfortable for you. You can come back to a block. And you can also opt to take another repose of your choice. Child's pose, or lying on the back, or lying on the belly. A neutral, steady, easy place that you can just really find your breath and listen to, feel for the residue of that posture that we were just in there for a few minutes. That sticky toe crunch, which always has a lot to say. We'll just take a few more breaths there. Just keep feeling in, checking in. You're welcome to stay there longer as needed. You can make this your individual, customized practice just to fit your unique needs. Or you can take this opportunity to, again, find some more yang quality to your movement, to your postures, and to your breath. Come to tabletop. Align your thigh bones and your arm bones vertically, so that the shoulders are over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Let's create a little spread through the fingers. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. You don't want to over effort. Same thing through the feet. Just relax the tops of the feet down. And feel your plug into the earth. Lengthen your whole spine, the sides of your body. Find your open heart. Lengthen through the sides of the neck. Relax any tension in the root of your tongue and your jaw, between your eyebrows. And inhale, round your back up like you're coming into your cat posture once again. And then send your ribs over to the right. Belly down through the mat, and then ribs over to the left. Back up through the top. So that's 360 degrees around your sphere. Barrel roll, bear posture. Find some expression through your hips. Creative spring energy. Flow of water. And then reverse the barrel rolls in the opposite direction. Just feel like you're clearing through here. Any residual gunk. Just want to move out. Water it down. Break it apart. Sweep it away. Flush it out. Come back to neutral table. Take a full breath. And now tuck your toes underneath your feet. And bring your hands a pinch forward on your mat. Notice that your wrists are parallel to the top edge. So use some strength and some energy. Inhale, press into the hands and lift the hips. You're tilting your pelvis. Top of the pelvic bowl down in the direction of your arms and your hands into the earth. So the tail's going up and back to the opposite diagonal. Soften the elbows and frame your ears with your upper arms. Plug into the balls of the feet. A little bit of dripping energy down through the center of the heels as they remain lifted to keep your tail high. Rotate the inner thighs back and the armpits in toward the heart center while you ground firm into that inner wrist point and the base of your thumb and your index finger. Let's tap into some active young energy here for a few more breaths. And it's going to feel so nice when you really let go and soften into the end. And then lower your knees down to the mat. Bring yourself forward so you're onto your belly. And then wiggle your hips a little bit. Lift your right leg up, extend it back behind your hip. Get a little extra length out of that leg bone and place it down. Same thing on the left side. So let's just do a couple active rounds of Cobra. Plug the shoulder blades onto the back and curl your tailbone back towards your heels and then a bit downward so you feel your pubic bone going down and forward into your mat. And then you can really lift and tone that pit of your low belly into your spine. And that's what helps you really find an extension forward through your heart and through the top of your head as you lift with the inhale to Cobra. Remember, you get to choose the degree to which you lift because this is your own unique creative expression through the lens of your practice. And it's about really being somatic and listening to your body. Going for those feelings and sensations. Exhale, lower. Do that one more time. Inhale, Cobra. And come higher, and then you put some pressure into your palms, dragging down and back as the chest lifts forward and up. And if you feel like you want to access more space to work with, perhaps the hands come wider, further back. It gives you a little more broadness. Keep the tops of your feet actively pressing down and back for another full breath. In Cobra. And exhale, release. So whereas that was definitely a yang expression, lots of muscle activity through the back, through the core, through the legs. Now you'll let your legs really relax as well as your feet and pick up yourself to put the weight in the elbows, the forearms, and the hands for Sphinx pose. Now, if we were to do this posture like really active, more in that yang type expression, we would be engaging and then dragging back so that the shoulders would be coming down away from the ears. But we're really here going to find the yin version. So you want to think about being heavy in your bones because your muscles are not so much active here. I'm going to stretch the fascia of the body, which encases all of the muscles, all the muscle groups, and all the bones. It's almost like that protective webbing we were meditating on in the beginning. So we just want to send some good energy and attention into hydrating those connective tissues. So release the muscles, and habitually, certain muscles are going to want to tense up Even just certain mind grooves trigger that kind of like hypertensing in certain areas of the body when you go into a bit of autopilot, which is the subconscious. So you really use your breath to stay tuned in, conscious, so you can check yourself when you're doing that. And then let go best you can. And another really good way to support you in being able to let go is to maybe incorporate some props. So maybe you want to let your head release. You can put a block underneath the forehead. And on the other hand, you can also definitely really get a nice neck stretch, moving your skull in this position or circling it. And with your shoulders lifted up more towards your ears and your ribs heavy, you create this natural shelf in your traps. Help protect your neck as you stretch your chin up and open your throat, tilting your head back. So opening up, feel into your breath. I'm going to give you a few more options of play from here. And if you feel like you're in your zone and you found right where you want to be for Sphinx, feel free to stay. But you could also make this a seal posture, which is up on the hands, looking like flippers. So just turn them out wider and then stretch the arms. And shift yourself a bit on your mats. If you're on a hardwood floor, it could be nice to use a blanket underneath the pelvis or underneath the lower part of the ribs. If you want to get a little bit more of that compressive tension stretch sensation. So those are just options. You could use either of those as well in your Sphinx. So opening up the front body, it's that tension stretch, fronts of the hips, the belly, the chest, the shoulders, potentially the neck. Continue to drop in through the breath into the body, into conscious awareness. So what are the thoughts when you're in a posture like this? And without getting too far carried off into those thoughts, just come back into the breath, into the body, into the energy of the pose. As you soften your bones even a little more toward the earth. Find any last little places you might want to explore or expressions. And a few deep breaths. And still breathing from your center into your circumference, back to your center. Start to slowly make your way out of the Sphinx or the seal. You can either lie right onto your belly from there and repose in a crocodile, or with your temple or cheek resting downward so your head's off to a side. Or you could also come to a seated position. And we'll save the direct counter stretch for just a little bit, which would be like your child's pose, flexing the spine and the hips. For now, just repose. That's that steady center, neutral space. We can just tap into the resonance of that heart-opening posture we just did, which really also stimulates and stretches all the internal organs to help get things moving. Perhaps if you're even holding any like anxiety or grief or frustration or tough emotions, a lot of times we really hold and grip them in the center part of the body. So, although they can be challenging, back bends are really good for releasing those tougher emotions that are sometimes hard to let go of. Just give yourself here another few breaths in the repose. Appreciating this extra bit of time of hibernation. While finding the ways that we can tap into this very natural and innocent joy of spring energy. And then from where you are, and you'll make your way up to all fours again. So you can drop from there into a child's posture. If you're really craving that counter stretch I mentioned, from the back bend into the forward fold, and you can absolutely be there for a bit with your big toes together. Maybe you're on a bolster. Or you can make your way back to downward facing dog. And just move some of that energy that you kind of dredged up from deep within your tissues in that previous yin posture. Just move it around here in your dog. Some spontaneous, intuitive movement that just feels good. You're engaging with your breath, that prana, that chi, that life force energy. And the chi is what really helps to move the energy through the body and out. And there are 3 full breaths. Whether you're in child's pose or down dog, you feel that spiral of the armpits in toward the heart. Openness through the hips. Make your way onto your feet so that you can dangle and standing forward bend. So really here your feet are hips width, or even perhaps a little bit wider, so that you can soften through your knees and bring your belly towards your thighs. And you can really have this sensation of dangling your spine and your skull out of your pelvic bowl toward the earth. And there's a number of options. You can bring your hands to blocks, or even take a little pressure out of the wrists and prop your forearms up with your blocks. Bringing your hands together. And you can also opt to hold the backs of your legs or take it to the mat. Any other variation expression that you want to dangle yourself in? Just tap into the opposing energy that you feel in this dangle pose compared to the Sphinx or the seal. So here, really forward folded. It just has that natural calming energy to it, bringing the head below the heart, the focus inward, into the self, into that pure consciousness. And feel free to change your variation or stay where you are. Dangle for a few more breaths. And with your next inhale, lengthen your spine forward. So you're finding a halfway lift and some nice active energy all through your legs, from your feet up into your hips. As you extend your heart forward, your tail back, gaze down. Keep the connection on the spit, the center of yourself, between your pelvis and your ribs. A little more effort and weight forward into the balls of the feet as you move into potential, into that energy of spring, beginnings. And exhale, forward bend. Soften even more through your knees. Roll yourself up, one vertebra at a time, so you can feel the articulation of each aspect. Like a blossoming flower. Mountain pose. So find your breath. And just really feel your arms and your hands dangling wherever they want to naturally land in your body. Breathe into your sphere. You can even still imagine yourself here in that protective cocoon that you spun around yourself in the beginning of class. Harnessing your immunity, your protection, your compassion, your selflessness. By staying home, practicing at home, and staying committed to your yoga, matter the outer circumstances. Here you are at the center of yourself. Only you are responsible to take another couple deep, full breaths. Keep feeling the roots of your body plugged into the earth. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend forward from your hips, softening the knees on the way down. You can inhale, extend your spine to half lift. And exhale, lower down to take a seat. Send the legs forward. And get ready to fold forward into the caterpillar pose. So, some options that might feel nice for your body is to prop up the hips, or you can use your blanket or a bolster. So this is just basically a seated forward bend. So just really allow your legs to relax once you find your seat. And you can always put a block in between your legs, open your legs up a little bit so that you can fold and rest your forehead, or it might be blocks stacked. Or it could be that you even use 2 blocks to prop a bolster underneath your torso. And then you lie like that. Maybe just lie directly onto the bolster. So again, there's really like a million options and variations for all these postures. So I won't give you all of them because then I would never stop talking, but this is another one you could utilize, which is like the bridge. So you have 2 blocks on either side, and then you round forward from there onto your forearms. And then everybody really is a little bit different. So some people, in order to really relax, it's nice to have that contact of something with the forehead. So you can use a prop, or it's also perfectly fine just to, again, like we just were, dangle forward. So you don't necessarily have to have your head resting on something. You can let it just be resting in space. I'll be here for a few minutes in caterpillar, the seated forward bend, yin style. Just enjoy your breath. And if you have one cheek down rather than your forehead, you can consider after some time, maybe a couple minutes, to just switch it over to the other side. We'll spend a few more good breaths here in caterpillar seated forward bend. So I want you to really feel that compressive action in your belly. A nice massage of your internal organs. So I'm just checking the time, and I'm pretty sure Instagram, I'm going to hit my 55-minute limit here real soon. So I'm going to go ahead and restart it. So you can restart it too. And then you can come up and out of caterpillar if you're still in it. And take a seat. I'm really proud of myself for consciously restarting that Instagram live because it always drops off when I'm like not aware. And then I feel like scrambled to start it again. So it's important for us to have our full 75 minutes, though, I think, of yin. So I like not having to have a time limit necessarily. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted and I'm talking. So you're in your repose seated. And you're just feeling the leftovers, the echoes, that caterpillar posture. That nice stretch on your back, your whole posterior chain. I think I was saying that compression of your internal organs, which also just really helps to get things moving once you come up and out of it. Settle into this repose, this neutral space for a few more breaths. Coming back to the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice, time and time again, the beauty of repetition, gaining insight every time you do it again. You honor your intention, you listen to your inner wisdom and intuition, those deeper, subtler energies inside of you, those messages. So you can know yourself all the better and express your life in a way that serves you in your highest. All right, shifting from here in the seat onto the back. So let's say we have a few options for this, because we are pretty shortly approaching Shavasana time, I'm sure. Yeah, we are. Okay, so we're going to finish laying on the back with some sort of structure or prop support underneath the spine, underneath the heart, and underneath the head. So you could use your blocks, like Egyptian pillow style, which is definitely one of my personal favorites. And you can also use your bolster underneath your spine. And then if you do have a bolster to use, or even a blanket rolled up lengthwise, just make sure you've got, enough support under your skull too. You could opt to use your blocks under your thighs, supporting your hip joints in a butterfly. Or just Shavasana legs, or feet flat with the knees bent up or resting in toward one another. The important thing is that you feel comfortable to just de-stress, release, muscles, habitual thoughts, worries, stagnancies. Open the energy portals and channels of your body with the support of your breath and your imagination, your conscious awareness, your attunement to great nature. In all the phases of the cycle. Cycle of a breath, cycle of a season, cycle of an experience, posture. It's reminding us that everything is impermanent, always in flux. And thus we don't have to hold on too tight. Just let be. Hold that space to soften. Relax your bones. Scan the body. Breathe from your center into your circumference. The full outer reaches, the boundaries of that protective cocoon you fashioned yourself. For your practice here this evening, and for your energy body for the rest of the day and the week ahead. Where are you still holding on that can let go? You feel most welcome to allow yourself to remain here a little longer. Perhaps this takes you right into your final resting meditation, such as in Shavasana, corpse. Otherwise, you can start to gently make your way out. And you can stay on your bolster and just stretch your legs, or you can remove it so you can lie flat straight away. Take that repose. Again, find any movement that feels good from there. Giving yourself a squeeze, for instance, knees to chest, a little gentle rock and sway. Maybe some circles, semicircles. You can draw your knees out. Just explore any last spinal twists. Last little hugs you want to give yourself. So you can make your way into a final resting posture. Shavasana, or legs up the wall if you have a wall. And if there is any other part of your body that's really calling to you, or you're craving any other additional stretch or asana, you take the time. Really, you can extend this practice as long as you like. Nobody's kicking you out because you're at home, so enjoy it. Maybe you can even tap into some of your own creative, inspirational energy to close this practice in a way that's going to benefit you most. I'm sending you all lots of love. Thank you for tuning in to Yin round 3 of self-quarantine in the time of the corona. You're doing a great job wherever you are. Just don't forget to tell yourself